Hey guys, Lauren Ann here today, and I am reviewing two books today in one video, and they are Just One Day and Just One Year, both by Gayle Forman. These books are companion books, and what I mean by that is that they're part of a series, but they happen at the same time from different perspectives. So Just One Day follows Allison, and Just One Year follows William. And so a little bit of backstory before I dive into the actual review. Allison and William meet in London when William is on a traveling Shakespearean show. They get to talking, and Allison's like, I really want to see Paris, and he's like, well, come to Paris with me, and Allison's like, oh, dude, I don't really know you that well, what if you, like, are a creepy pedophile? And he's like, haha, I'm not a creepy pedophile. Anyways, end of the story, they go to Paris together. They have a magical, magical day. And I have to commend Gayle Forman because she doesn't write Paris cheesily. And one thing I hate is cheesy romance, and she doesn't do, it's not cheesy, it's so realistic, and I love it. For this day, nothing else matters, it's just them in Paris, and it's really, really cool. Allison wakes up the next morning, and Wilhelm is nowhere to be seen, and she's devastated. She is so disgusted with herself. Really, Allison's story starts once Wilhelm disappears. And Just One Year picks up with Wilhelm waking up in the hospital. He had gone to get food for them to eat for breakfast, and the same guys that were chasing them earlier found him again and beat him up and gave him a concussion, and so he wakes up in the hospital, and once he goes back for Allison, she's already gone. Directly after, in both books, are so gorgeously written. Allison is completely torn up. She is in a haze for like a solid 3 chapters, disgusted with herself, she's angry, she's mad, she feels like she was taken advantage of. A traumatic experience, and I think Gayle Forman did a really good job of writing that. And likewise, when William realizes he doesn't know where Allison is, he feels like a complete jerk, and he's so distraught. I think the thing that I like the most about this book is how Gayle Forman connected the two stories. These two different people who don't think they'll ever see each other again. She connects them through these subtle parallels. At one point they're like on the same beach, and I'm reading, because I read Just One Day first, and then I'm reading this book, and I know Allison's there, and I'm like screaming at him, like, she's right there, and it's like hair tugging. It's awesome. And it's not cheesy. It's not cheesy at all. Like, it's not like I felt her presence but I couldn't find her. It's like he's getting drunk because he's upset because he can't find her, and it's the way he does it is awesome. And then there's also this like parallel in between Wilhelm and his mom, and then Allison and her mom. And Allison, her mom micromanages her life, and then Wilhelm has the opposite problem, where his mom just isn't in his life. Seeing how it contrasts these two moms and their two children and the problems within the relationships. And she does a really good job of like showing two extremes, but not, I'm going to say it again, not cheesifying the two extremes. Oh my gosh, I just adore. He's so funny because he's gay and he's African American, and there's this girl who Allison shares a room with, and who is like, oh my gosh, like, you're gay, and he like totally turns on the stereotypical, like, and once she leaves, Allison's just kind of laughing, and it's just great. He put up this whole act, and he was mocking her, and she didn't realize it, and it was really awesome. And I really loved Allison and Dee's friendship. And likewise, Willem meets this girl, Kate, in Mexico. It's so magical. Kate is like no nonsense, like kind of like go with the flow. Like when I picture Kate, I kind of picture like a hiker hipster, and that sounds really weird, but it's really cool. And then Dee is this just awesome guy. I want Kate and Dee to be my best friends. I want to meet these two people. They're awesome. And I love the parallels. Like, they're so different. Like, they're complete worlds apart, but they serve the same purpose. And I just thought that, like, all of these two books are the perfect representation of parallelism. Like, if I taught an English class or whatever, I'd make my class read these two books and then write, like, essays about all the parallels, because this is, like, the epitome of parallelism. Like, Tale of Two Cities does parallelism very well, but, you know, Gayle Forman does it, like, not that Gayle Forman is a Dickens, but you get what I'm saying. My favorite thing that tied these two books together was Shakespeare. It's perfect. It's like how it's like crossing some barrier, you know, an ocean that separates them, and, you know, the fact that they don't know anything about each other, but they're able to connect, like, on some spiritual level between Shakespeare, between fictional characters, and I loved my fictional characters connecting through fictional characters within a fictional work. It was awesome. It was really awesome, and how Shakespeare is what brings them together the first time, and Shakespeare is what brings them together the second time, and it just... Gayle Forman is the master of parallelism. I could go on and on for days about all the character traits I love. The thing that really stands out the most about Anna and William's characters is how beautifully flawed they are. And when I say beautifully flawed, I mean they're beautifully flawed. They have problems, they screw up a lot, and you want to scream and yell at them like 95% of the time. Well, not 95% of the time, but like half the time. She does a really good job of not writing them as like these two people that are codependent upon each other, but they're codependent on what they found with each other. Yeah, I highly recommend these two books. Like, sit down in one day and read them together, and you won't be sorry. I will see you guys shortly. Have a good one.